Hey, it's Magda K, and in this video, we'll talk about how the energy of different spaces impacts how energized we feel or how irritated we feel. It can also impact our libido, how easy it is to relax into pleasure, and how we connect to other people. So it has directly impact on the quality of our relationships. Now, if that may feel really weird, how exactly the space impacts all of this, well, keep on watching. I'm gonna go more in depth to explain exactly the connection between these two things. So, what I'll be sharing in this video are different practicing to clearing and cleansing the energy of the space where we spend a lot of time. And if that may sound too new agey and too woohoo, I understand you because it is true new age practices have kind of brought these rituals back, but actually it's been something that people have been practicing on this planet for very, very, very long. So currently a lot of ideas come from Hinduism, Tantra, from Tao, and a lot of alternative methods of healing, so like working with chakras and with crystals, but actually this is something that's been really used in tribes for many generations. So I just kind of recently went to Australia and we were visiting a local tribe. And one of the things that the leader of the tribe, the local shaman, was telling us is that they have this ritual where they use bark of this specific tree, they burn it in the fire, and then all of the people in the tribe would walk around the fire to be smudged by this bark, and that was the ritual for cleansing the energy for people. And even if you go to the Catholic Church, they burn a form of incense during the Mass, during the service. And again, this is to cleanse the energy. So the actual ritual of doing that has been there for very, very long, but we kind of forgot it. And the reason why I'm bringing it back in this video is because it has a huge impact on how we feel and therefore how we interact with other people and how much pleasure we can feel when we are intimate with our partners. So think of it, that your house or your office, any other space where you hang out, it's like a big ball, like a sponge that collects your energy. So let's say you feel really tired and exhausted after the whole day of work, and you go home, and let's say you spend some time in your living room watching TV, and that happens day after day after day. So actually your living room is a sponge that sucks all of this tiredness and exhaustion from you. Or imagine if you live with your partner and you argue, and probably you argue quite often because that's what couples do. Again, the energy of arguments gets stuck in the place. And so what can happen, is that you feel perfectly fine, and then you go back home and suddenly you feel irritated. Or let's say you were in the perfect mood, you go home, then your partner gets home, and suddenly you pick up a fight with them, and you don't really understand why. So you get irritated and frustrated and angry very easily. For the same reason, you may find yourself that you don't really have a lot of energy, you're just kind of drained, little vitality. It's because when the energy gets very dense in your house, again, it sucks your energy, it takes your energy. And this is how it also impacts, your sexual pleasure. Because if it's hard for you to relax, if you don't have a lot of energy, like low energy means low libido, and if you don't have a lot of energy, then it's very hard for your body to even want to experience pleasure and intimacy, because right now it's in the mode of survival. And then, of course, directly impacts how you connect to your partner, and whether you'll be picking up those fights or if you will be actually in the place to connect to them from the heart. So often when you do different practices around your relationship and nothing is working, I think it's good to relook at your house and start doing some cleansing practices so you get a bit of more support towards your efforts. So I'm gonna share with you the practices that I do myself. I actually have some props with me to show you exactly what I do. And I found all of them to really work perfectly. So once I share exactly what I do and what you can do, I'm also going to share with you my little ritual that I have that I do every morning for the cleansing of my house. So the first group of different practices that you can do, it's smudging the energy. So you basically burn something, and you can burn a lot of things. So the first one that I really like, it's white sage. So this is mine. If you've never seen one, that's how it looks like. So it's basically the leaves of dry sage put together, and it has a very specific smell. I personally really, really like it. I met like a couple of people who hate it. So you have to really experiment. Anytime you smudge, you burn something, make sure you like the smell. But you just burn it. And then when it's on, when it's burning, you can walk around the house, spreading the smoke around. Now I use this feather here, so it's a shamanic eagle feather. So I love doing that. It just kind of helps the sage to keep burning and moves the smoke around the house. I do it around myself as well, so that's important. When you do the smudging of the, like, cleanse the air, the energy of the space and yourself, and be very careful with the corners, because this is usually where the energy has a tendency of getting stuck. And for the corners, you start from the bottom and you go up. So just kind of move the energy up. So this is number one. The second thing you can burn, it's Palo Santo. So here I have a piece of that. So that is wood that comes from Latin America. I hope I'm not mistaken. But basically, it may not be easily available in Europe. But if you can get it, get it. It has such a unique smell. It's beautiful. It's a bit more difficult to burn it. Like I like when I try to burn it, it usually like goes down very fast. So it's a bit more complicated to actually use it. But that's your second option. If none of those are available, you have incense, which you can buy pretty much anywhere. So you just burn that. With incense, make sure that you buy something that's organic and natural and not made of chemicals and fake things, because then they actually won't be really helping with the energy. So just smell it. I get some on my nose. So just smell them and see if you like the smell. There's so many available. So this is smudging. That's the first group of different practices that you can do. The second one is the sound. So you can use the sound also to cleanse the energy. The first one is clapping. That takes absolutely zero money, so you don't have to buy anything. So clapping helps. That comes from Feng Shui. And once again, if you use clapping, you walk around the house clapping. And when you get to the corners, you clap from the bottom up to move the energy. The second thing that you can use is a bell. So I'm going to show you mine. And now listen to the sound. I wish you could, apart from the sound, that you could feel the vibration. So this particular one, I just brought it from India. Oh my God, I love it so much. I'm addicted to it. I use it every day. So this specific bell is made of 7 metals. So in the tradition of using vibration for healing, there's a collection of 7 metals that are it's believed that when something is made of those 7 metals, it has also healing properties. So any metal has its own energy and creates its own vibration, and this combination creates a vibration that's healing. So you know that sound is a vibration, but if you want to have actual healing properties of using like bells or singing bowls, you want to use proper metal so that the vibration that goes through, it's not just pleasant for your ears, but actually alters the energy in your body. So if you are buying a bell, it would be best if you could buy a proper one that has these 7 metals in it. And it really sounds very different. And when you play it, you can feel the vibrations going through your body, which is exactly what I have with this bell. That's why I love it so much. It's an incredible feeling. So these are the best. If you cannot get those, because you do need to do a bit of research to find those, get any metal bell. So it will still move the energy. So you're fine with that. Like these 7 metals, they help you experience healing properties that can actually be used for healing, but just the metal bell will do to move the energy. And the mentioned singing bowls is the third thing you can use to cleanse the energy with sound. Now, I don't have my singing bowl with me because they are all in Poland. So see, my dad thinks that I'm quite crazy for the work that I do. But despite thinking that most of the things I do are stupid and they're not true, and probably any of the smudging things, he would just laugh at me. But he absolutely loves my singing bowl. So a couple of years ago, I brought a set from Nepal of original beautiful set of singing bowls for the healing practice, and I lost it because he loves them so much. He basically stole them from me. So all my bowls are in Poland because my dad doesn't want to give them back. So he loves them. So that's why I cannot show you any. But if you have a bowl, again, you can just play it and walk around the house. And when you get to the corner, once again, you start from the bottom to go up. And this is also the practice coming from Feng Shui. So we have smudging, we have sound. The third one is to use crystals. In general, crystals are known to take the energy and transmute the energy and give it back and give like the good energy back. Some crystals collect the energy, but they're still like suck the negative energy from the environment. If you're not very familiar with crystals, you can always just choose a white quartz. They're pretty much universal crystals for anything you want. You do every month, I would say, you probably want to cleanse the crystal from all of this energy that accumulated. Or you can use any black crystals. They're actually perfect for clearing the energy, any like negative and distorted energies. They're really good for that. And you can just put them in the corners of your room and your house and keep them there. That's pretty much all you need to do. And a similar practice is to use salt. So salt has been known to have cleansing properties for really, really long time. And what you can do is take a little bit, like a little plate, and put some salt on it, and then put it in corners of your room. Now, an important thing about salt is that it accumulates, it takes the energy from the environment and it keeps it there, which means that if you don't throw it out, you will have this negative energy in your space. So if you keep the old salt in your room, for example, you may notice that like the first day you will feel much better because it sucked the energy, but after a while it may even get more intense. So about 24 hours after you use the salt, you want to make sure you throw it out or just wash it off. So that's a very important thing for using salt. And last thing, which is not really any new age practice, is just sweeping. So when you sweep, you move the energy out of your house. So that brings me to my little ritual. So how exactly do I do it? What's my ritual cleansing energy? So every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do is exactly I sweep the floors. I sweep the floors around my house and in this balcony that you can see where I'm sitting right now. So I sweep the floors and I have an altar. So the second thing I do is I come to the altar. I take my bell because I just feel so pulled towards this bell right now. And I do 3 circles of the bell around the altar. So just kind of to move any energies from the altar, it cleanses the energy of that sacred space for me. And then I do smudging, and it depends on the day. I will take any of the 3 things I just showed you, and I smudge myself, and then I walk around the house and clear the energy of the house. And that thing takes me not even 5 minutes, but it's a beautiful way of starting the day for myself because, see, I personally love rituals, and I believe that we can do something mindlessly, like when I brush my teeth, I'm not there. It's just okay. Well, I have to brush my teeth in the morning, but when I do the smudging, it's a ritual. It's a sacred ritual to me. So my mindset is very different. There's such a different energy around it, and so I like having elements like this in my life. That like I don't actually know how any of these things actually cleanse the energy. I don't know that. All I know is that it has an impact on how I feel. And so this is a part of my day where I just have faith. When I allowed a bit of magic, a little bit of esoteric practices into my life, and I enjoy it. And I don't have to understand everything. Actually, having this element of not understanding and just trusting and like allows me to tap into this, witch in myself, which by the way, I believe we're all witches from some past lives. So it taps, allows me to tap into this old energy and really bring back and bring up my own healing energy, my own healing properties, my intuition. So I really love the practice also for myself, for where it puts me. So these are my practices. Try them out and let me know. Maybe you're already doing something. So if you have your own practice of cleansing energy around your space, let me know in the comments below this video. If there's anything new that I didn't mention that you know or that you practice even more, please let me know so I can try that. And if you think it's total bullshit and it doesn't work, comment below as well. Let's have a conversation around it. Like I said, it's not logical. It's just something fun to do that works for me and has worked for a lot of my clients. This is why I'm sharing it with you as well. So I hope that helps. I hope you like this and have a beautiful, beautiful, ecstatic day. And I will catch you with the next video very, very soon.